and just understanding that and knowing that it's a feeling. Thoughts are feelings, yeah, and just knowing that that passes and being able to connect with that is really important. So when I'm in that place, what I try and do, and I don't have this down at all, I'm not coming to you as some perfectionist mindset person. I'm human and I, like everybody, we have our better days and we have our not so better days. But I try and stay open. I try and stay as open as possible. For me, it's about keeping my heart open to possibility. And I think possibility is a really empowering word. It's like, what's the possibility here? If I feel like I can't do something, well, how is it possible that I could? So flipping situations and being open to other options. So I was doing a little bit of research just for this little talk, and I found out that actually negative emotions or fear-based emotions shut down our range of possibility. And there's a good reason for that, because it's our fight or flight mode. So when we were faced with a tiger or something out in the jungle, we don't need to have lots of options when we're faced with an animal that might kill us. We need to be very focused, very, like single-minded to go, right, the only option here is to run like hell. We don't need 50,000 different choices. So negative fear-based stuff narrows our focus, and it narrows our possibility. That's what it does scientifically. That's been proven to happen within us. So it makes sense, yeah? Because when you're in that negative place, it's really hard to feel like you have options, yeah? Because it's almost like the body doesn't let you see other options. I found that really fascinating. I was like, right, I understand that, I get that, brilliant. When we can be in a positive mindset, then that's very expansive, yeah? Really expansive, able to see different options, able to ask great questions, able to seek out people who might be able to help us, able to ask for help graciously and receive it. Something we talk about damsels a lot. Really powerful for women to be able to do that in a way that we can express our desires really cleanly and clearly. That's not possible to do when we're in a sort of fear-based, negative thought patterning process. And that's been scientifically proven, which excited me a lot. Obviously, there's a whole other seminar on that, which I'm not going to go into, but you can Google and find it for yourselves. So I stay open, and if I feel like staying open is hard, it's almost like I kind of train myself into staying open. So when our daughter was diagnosed with a heart condition, I was still carrying her at the time. And at the time, it was 2 days before Christmas. So picture the scene. It's 2 days before Christmas. I had a 7-year-old son, had a husband who'd been flat on his back for a week with a prolapse disc, couldn't even move his head off the pillow. Midwife found that Martha's heart was, she couldn't get a trace on it because it was beating so fast. As it turned out, it was more than twice the normal rate. I get sent to hospital. I get kept in overnight. I get home at 8 o'clock on Christmas Eve. All of the presents were in the loft, not wrapped. Husband can't move. It could have been very easy for me to start freaking out at this point. And was I totally calm? No, not at all. But I was able to, I have a lot of capacity for resources within me in moments like that. And was able to ask for help and was able to still enjoy Christmas, even though I was in and out of hospital 3 weeks in the end, and then Martha was delivered by emergency cesarean 6 weeks early. So it was a very intense time for us. And I know, and I have been told repeatedly, that my behaviour through that process was, people were constantly surprised at how I was showing up in that time. Pretty calm, pretty together, very trusting, very surrendered, I struggle with the word positive in that, because I knew, there was a danger, definitely knew there was a danger, but I was totally totally surrendered. I think that's probably the best word, that I'm in the best place, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And I was only able to do that because I understand this stuff. Yeah, I understand the power of working on this stuff. So if anyone thinks this stuff is like woo-woo, airy-fairy, a bit fluffy, yes, all of those things, and it works. And it really helps you keep your shit together when you need to. So, excuse me for swearing, but and there's been lots of incidences, you know, where I've dealt with something that's not been so great, or a colleague has, or a client has, and I see time and time again that the ability to do this stuff makes all the difference. Our capacity for resilience is hugely increased when we have a understanding of our own mindset and the power that it has, and being able to manipulate it, I suppose, in a way that's for good, for positive reasons for ourselves. So I hope that makes sense. So I try and stay open, and I look for the gift. And I know, again, that sounds cheesy, what's the gift in this? What would be the gift in this? I had a miscarriage, well, what's the gift in that? How could you even start to think that? But the gift in that was I got a lot of rest. And I let my body heal. And my husband and I got really connected and really close, and I was able to grieve for this baby that we didn't have and prepare my body for the baby I knew that we were going to have. And I just knew deep down that at some point we would have another child, and we were very blessed, and we did. And I get that doesn't, for some people that doesn't happen, but you have to go with your own feelings on this. There will be a gift in a situation somewhere if you can find it, and it might only be tiny, and it might only be, well, I don't know. I'm thinking I lost a very dear friend of mine 3 years ago, and I think, well, what was the gift in that? But the gift in that was we hadn't seen each other for a long time. We'd been very, very close as younger kids, and our lives had kind of done that a bit. But what the gift in it is, I'm so reconnected to her family now, her husband and her kids and her brother and her parents. I see them all the time. And that is gorgeous. That is beautiful. And do I miss my friend? Of course I do. Dearly, like daily. But the gift in it is that her family and me have reconnected after a very long time. So like I said, there will be something in it for you. A business meeting goes really badly, or you don't get the client that you thought you were going to get, or you feel like you've screwed up somewhere. There's always something. You go back and think, well, where's the lesson in that for me, and what's the learning in that for me? And perhaps the reason you didn't get that is because there's something better coming along. And again, that's a mindset shift. There's a belief that if something goes wrong, it's not personal to you. My belief is if a client says no, or something doesn't go the way I kind of figured it might, it's because something better is coming. Now, do I always know that? No, of course I don't. But that is a belief I choose to hold, because for me, that serves me better than me going, oh, the world's against me and nothing goes my way, and sod's law, and all that. And you will have people in your life who treat every situation like that. I have somebody very dear to me who every possible thing in their life is being done to them. And for me, it's a constant reminder that actually I choose to live my life in a very different way. I'm at cause, I'm not at effect. Make sense? So how do we do all these things? Well, for us at Damsels, and I'll share it with you, it's all about keeping ourselves full. Keeping ourselves so full up of us that we have this capacity. We have this capacity for resilience. We have this capacity to deal with things. We have this capacity to make great decisions. And we have a capacity to feel what we need to feel when we need to feel it. And the way we do that is through self-care. And lots of people talk about self-care. But self-care for me is, well, at a simple level, are you getting enough sleep? Are you eating good food? Are you drinking enough water? And are you getting enough exercise? 4 things. You get those 4 things right, your mindset shift will be phenomenal, for starters. But we take it beyond that kind of basic level of self-care, if you like, and we talk about pleasure. Really prioritizing your pleasure. So you are so full up, so like overflowing with what's good in your life, that actually whatever comes your way is very easy to handle, is very easy to cope with. Or if you really can't, like within a second who you need to ask for help. You have people around you who understand this stuff as well, and who you can lean on when you need to, who you can support when they need it, that you have this peer group of people around you who get it, who understand you, who have the kind of mindset that you want. So yeah, I think that's probably enough for now. I could, it's one of my favourite topics, so I could talk all day. So I just want to recap. So we talked about noticing that it's not only what you're thinking, it's what you're feeling, and really understanding where that is in your body and how that kind of manifests itself. Allowing yourself to feel those feelings and giving them their time, honouring each of those. Understanding that when you're in fear and negative feelings, you will contract and you won't be able to see different options. So don't be surprised when that happens. It will happen, I can guarantee it. But as you shift into a more positive mindset, the possibilities expand, you expand, different options come into play. Like I said, there's a lot of science behind how that actually works in our bodies. It's brilliant stuff. So feel the feelings, stay open. I say keep your heart open, and just keeping yourself as open as possible to those possibilities. Looking for the gift in the situation, however small, however hard it might be. And I'm not saying when something happens immediately that you're going to get it straight away. It could take days, it could take weeks, it could take months, it could even take years. But I can almost guarantee that at some point, whatever has happened to you, there will have been a positive impact because of that thing that happened. So know that that's there. Take care of yourself, really ramp up your self-care, way more than you probably are doing right now, because I know what it's like for us mums. And prioritise your pleasure. Really make it an essential that you are putting things into your life on a daily basis that bring you joy. When we talked earlier about it being a feeling-based thing, you can get those feelings from anything that gives you joy or love or contentment. So things that bring out those feelings in you will help you create a much more positive mindset. So share the love, really. Simple as that. So I'm aware that, 25 minutes, look at that, see? I could talk all day. But anyway, hope this has been useful. I'll bob off now. If you've got any questions at all, I guess this might be shared in a post or something, so if it is, just stick them in the comments below, or if you want to connect with me personally, that's fab, either through bizmums or on my profile page on Facebook. So it's Michelle Graham, and I'd love to connect with you. So hope this has been useful, and see you soon. Bye bye.